Hey, it's Webs here, and it's time for the Horde and Alliance to team up against the meta with Abyssal Depths Demon Hunter. The idea behind this deck was inspired by the new card Abyssal Depths that will allow us to use both Vanndar and Drekthar in the same deck. This was definitely a combo that I wanted to do really early on with the new set, and I'm so glad that I was able to do so. But there is one warning I should give with this deck. You do have to run only 6 and 5 cost minions to actually make Drekthar online after you use Vanndar. Either way, it's a really funny combo. Alright, now time for the Mulligan guide of the deck. You're basically hard looking for Abyssal Depths, as this will allow you to draw into both Drekthar and Vanndar, and you want to make sure both of those cards stay in your deck instead of in your opening hand. The other cards that you're looking for start in your opening hand are early game removal tools such as Sigil of Flame, because there are a lot of minion based matchups now in this new meta. You can also look for some type of draw power if you really need to get into the Abyssal Depths, and you're going to try to make sure all your minions stay in the deck as long as humanly possible. With that being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time to play a game against Shaman. We have Abyssal Depths in our open hand, which is a really good sign for the deck. We're going to mulligan away the flanking maneuver just because of the fact that it doesn't serve any purpose right now. It is early game removal technically, or mid game removal, but we already do have a 4 cost card in our hand and we don't want to have 2 of them. So we're going to use our hero power here, then just pass the turn back. And then next turn, depending on what type of shaman they actually are, we might put down a Sigil of Flame just to nuke down their board on the following up turn, though it really does depend on which version of shaman we're facing. Okay, so they're going to pass the turn back. We might just want to use our hero power or chaos strike just to try to draw into more cards. Mr. Smite is something I would have rather had in the deck still, but oh well. Okay, so they're free shaman probably. I mean, this is pretty early on in the expansion. People are still trying to figure things out. We can use our hero power and just go face, I guess. Okay, so we kill 1 minion, which is fine. We're going to be able to do Abyssal Depths and we draw into the second copy. That's kind of funny. And now we get both Vanndar and Drekthar. Okay, so they're going to freeze their own minion, coin something out. Well, we're just going to put down Vanndar here. Use our hero power, kill their blood mage, because I almost want to bet it's going to be Bioluminescence Shaman, which is a deck that I really want to try out. It's just, there were some other ideas that I had first. Okay, so they're going to freeze Vanndar, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of annoying that they're freeze Bioluminescence, I guess. We can put down Drekthar and get 2 minions out of the deck here. And actually, that's not a really bad minion to get out of the deck. We can kill both of their minions, then just pass the turn back. Okay, so they're going to try to do some damage to our face. Coral Keeper, that's kind of a shock. Haven't actually seen someone use that against me before. We can put down our Mr. Smite to get a bunch of damage, or we could put down the Hippogriff and then Overlord. Hippogriff killing the 2 3/3s, though we probably should have saved one of them and then just pass the turn back after we do a bunch of face damage. And we probably shouldn't have played the Overlord anyways, but oh well. Okay, so they freeze our board. We should be able to do a little bit of damage here to their elemental, but we could also put down the Gangplank Diver just to put it down and then go face, because if we can get 1 Gangplank Diver to actually stick on the board with a Mr. Smite in hand, we should just win the game the next turn. Okay, so they froze our board again, which is a little bit annoying, but they did make some space, so we should be in a really good position here. We can use Smite and then just go face. We are 1 off of lethal though, which kind of sucks. We can use Chaos Leech to gain a little bit of HP and kill a minion on their board. We do have ourselves out of lethal range here too. Even if they do freeze the board, we should win next turn as long as they can't heal themselves. Okay, they're just going to hit face and then they're going to freeze our board, which is, oh, actually they don't, because I forgot they play the multicaster. Okay, they do freeze the board here, but it doesn't matter. We have our weapon, and then we can just go face and win the game. Okay, so we're in a game against Paladin. We're going to mulligan everything away because we don't want any minions in our opening hand. Getting a Abyssal Depths in the open hand is pretty good, though we do have Vanndar also, and that could mean that if we're not careful, we could actually accidentally play Vanndar without Drek'thar being out of the deck, and that could be disastrous for a deck like this, because it doesn't really have a backup plan if we do something accidentally like that, and I have done it in the past before, so... Okay, so they're going to put down a Doomsayer. We're just going to go face. That kills nothing, and that's going to be perfectly fine for us. Okay, they play a second Doomsayer, and we're going to want to use Abyssal Depths here to draw the Drek'thar out of the deck, then pass the turn back. Then we can play Vanndar next turn. Seems like they're a slower deck anyways, so... Ah, they're Heal Paladin. I wonder if that's going to drop in favor after a while. There's Mr. Smite. We're just going to kill their recruit. We can play our Drek'thar now. And we can even play the Hippogriff if we really feel like it. Okay, so next turn we should be able to do a bunch of damage to them. Though we are going to overdraw here probably, at least by 1. But most of our key minions are in our hand, so it doesn't really matter too much. Would have been nice to get a discount on Mr. Smite or the Diver, though, that are stuck in our hand right now. Okay, so we burn Flanking Maneuver, which is actually not one of the worst things we could have burned. We're going to put down Mr. Smite. We burn 2 other cards that are a little bit more important, but it is what it is. We're just going to go face. And we're 1 off of lethal again, which kind of sucks. That's actually a pretty good top deck, though, even if we manage to burn everything else in our deck. Okay, Wild Pyromancer. Do they have an Equalize? They're going to kill Smite. That is to be expected. Ah, Concentration almost does the same thing as the Equalize. We just need 1 more spell, but we should be able to finish them off next turn anyways, and they did have the last spell. They're going to coin something out. I'm assuming another heal. And we have lethal here no matter what. Using the Fell Barrage. And then they give up. Alrighty, time for a game against Warrior. This is going to probably be the Battle of the Pirates, since this is kind of a pirate Demon Hunter deck. This opening hand isn't actually the worst in the world. We do have Abyssal Depths again, which is pretty decent. Basically, we're running 3 copies of both Vanndar and Drekthar because of Abyssal Depths. That's the central idea of the deck. Okay, so they are questline. That shouldn't really shock me. I have a really spicy warrior deck coming up now too in the future soon. Okay, they're going to play Onyx or Obsidian Smith. There's the second Abyssal Depths. We can put down Sigil of Flames just to try to prevent them from playing too many minions down next turn. It really just depends on what they want to do here. Okay, they're going to get a random pirate. Amalgam is a really frustrating card to play against, especially when it's in Mech Mage. It's a little bit less annoying in Pirate Warrior, but okay, we can coin out the Abyssal Depths, getting Drekthar and Vanndar. Okay, they're going to complete part of their quest line. Okay, so we can play down Vanndar, or we could use the Fell Barrage to get rid of 2 of their minions and draw a few more cards. We are getting a lot of minions in the hand, which is kind of bad, but it is what it is. Okay, so they're going to dredge something from the bottom of their deck. There's Chaos Strike. We can use the Hippogriff here to get rid of 2 of their minions, which is really funny, and then pass the turn back. Keep getting minions that I want to instantly kill, so her Drekthar and Vanndar plan might be delayed a little bit. Now, the hero card is actually a pretty good top deck here, because it does get rid of both of their minions, even if the 2 tokens are relatively small. And then we can just pass the turn back. Hell, maybe we'll be able to do Drekthar and Vanndar on the same turn. Okay, they'll complete their quest line. Too bad we don't run Mutanus. And too bad Mutanus is a 7-drop instead of a 6-drop. Well, we can use Vanndar, and then we can use our Eye Beam to get rid of their minion, along with our hero power, of course, and then pass the turn back. We are getting dangerously low on HP. They're going to play their questline reward, and now we just play a waiting game of getting screwed over by their questline reward. It's way too consistent now that most of the cards that were bad rotated out. Oh, that's a funny top deck too. That actually could save us a lot of trouble. We can put it down and then just go face. We might have wanted to actually kill Captain just because of the fact that we did have enough damage on board, but it's fine. They do get a Gore Howl, which is really, really annoying, but oh well. Okay, so we don't have any type of board clear, but if we get enough damage on board, we should be able to be fine. They're actually going to attack into... I'm actually happy that they're doing that, but it's kind of weird. Flanking maneuver is pretty good, especially when we're in this form. And we do have a lot of self-healing here, so we can use our weapon, use Eye Beam to kill the Cannoneer, use our hero power, using Flanking Strike to get rid of their Captain and one of their 2/2s, and then we can just go face. Not even worry about the 6/4 that is frozen right now. And there's Mr. Smite, so we win next turn no matter what. Because I very much doubt they have any type of armor gain in that deck. Oh, actually, I forgot Cargo Card existed. Still, that's only, what, 15 HP with the armor? So we can play, or we can attack, use our hero power, play down Smite, use our hero power, and then just win right here. Alright, time for a game against Hunter. So this is probably going to be a game against Questline Hunter. I think that's the most common type of Hunter currently in the game. We did get a lot of new support. We're going to use our hero power here. We drew into the Drek'thar. We just mulliganed away, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, so they are Questline Hunter. We're going to use Chaos Strike. They're just going to do some direct damage to us. We do have a lot of healing if they do ever put any type of minion down. We're going to use Chaos Strike again to try to get into our Abyssal Depths or even the Vanndar that's in our deck. Okay, so they're going to use Quick Shot. And then they're going to coin something out. A secret that is probably going to be Ice Trap or Explosive Trap. It really depends. Okay, so it's probably going to be explosive at this point, and we're just going to do a bunch of damage to their face and then pass the turn. Why would we do anything else? It would be cool to see more Fel Demon Hunter support, but I don't know if we're going to see any of that in this set. There's our Abyssal Depths, which gets us our Vanndar. We're going to trigger their explosive drop, and then we could even use some of our lifesteal that we have in our hand to kill our Vanndar when we play it next turn. They're going to do a bunch of damage to us here. Okay, so we're going to use our Vanndar next. Then we're going to try to use the Eye Beam on the Vanndar, trying to trigger a Ice Trap, and it doesn't. And it is an Explosive Trap, which is kind of a shock. I guess Freezing Trap is the last possible secret that someone would actually want to run in Questline Hunter. Okay, so they're going to do a bunch more damage here. And now they're going to have their questline reward in their hand. At least they can't play it this turn. We're going to place down Drek'thar, which gets us a... Actually, not bad overall. Those are actually pretty sticky minions. Could even bounce back the Drek'thar so we can get a second Drek'thar off. Okay, they're going to play their questline reward. That might be a little bit of a mistake, because they only have 2 mana to do 14 points of damage. It's very possible they could. We have what? Oh, perfect top deck. Going to try to trigger something here. Doesn't actually trigger any of the secrets. We're going to attack with our 2/10, and we should be able to just get lethal right here. Smite to the rescue. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, this deck wasn't the best in the world. I will straight out say that, but it was really funny to actually play, and it did serve the purpose that I actually set when trying to make this deck work. It uses both Drek'thar and Vanndar in the same deck, which was the entire reason I wanted to do something like this. And if you've been wanting to try to make a deck like that work, this is the perfect deck for you, especially because the only new card from the new set is Abyssal Depths and Gangplank Diver, which are both commons. So if you have all the other cards, try this out. You're not going to probably go up that much in rank, but this does have a lot of future potential if we do see better 5 or 6 drop minions, which is the main weakness of the deck. You can't play anything higher cost because Drek'thar will be offline. With that being said though, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye bye.